Good afternoon and welcome to Sports Train. We have an exciting hour, and apart from the regular segments, well, we have a gunman in the house. Melissa and Darren, don't get scared. I mean, he isn't here to do no harm, but he's a police officer. He's a man who has represented this country on many, many occasions at all the big games you can think about. The Olympics, the Commonwealth Games, the CAC Games, you call it, he has been there. His name is Roger Daniel, and he will tell you all about his Olympic-type pistol shooting. He has his story, and he will going to tell you how he started and where he's at this moment. And we also have for you the trivia segment. It is sponsored by Royals Company Publishing Limited, and they will be giving out their money this afternoon, so you can stay tuned to your telephone and make sure that you write down the number, get it right, because when that segment comes on, trivia, you will be able to win some money. So I have said it all, and Reza, thank you so much for being here this afternoon.
Well, thank you so much again, Astel Ren. I mean, as you said, a very exciting show on this afternoon. The Olympic shooter himself, Corporal Roger Daniel, four-time Olympian. So we want to thank again Blazer Sports Bar, Docks Engineering Works Limited, and Royals Publishing Company Limited for our golden sponsorship, the first two, and of course Royals for his $300 cash prize. Well, Astel, we do have a packed program, and of course we have had a lot of cricket going on. Trinidad and Tobago versus Guyana, losing by 143 runs, and we are now second to last in the standings. And just to tell you the Guyana score against Guyana, which took place in the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, Guyana 324 and 247 for 6 declared, TNT 160 all out, 268, and that would have been worse off had the last two batsmen on the Trinidad side. That includes Django and Mohammed and I believe Justin Manik. It would have been worse off. But Astel, not a good batting display again by TNT.
And what is surprising about it is that the fast bowlers in the Caribbean, they are causing some problems. I mustn't say fast bowlers, the medium pacers. It tells us that the depth of our batting, it tells us the quality of batting, and it tells us that there are technical deficiencies in the Caribbean among our batsmen.
Well, you know, one of the good signs, of course, for regional cricket is that Mr. Purmall, Veerasamy Purmall, he broke Nikita Miller's record of 512 regional wickets by getting his 532nd wicket, and now he's the top regional bowler in regional cricket. Good going.
We must say congratulations to him. And we must say that Darren Bravo, the Red Force captain, well, he continues to have a golden patch because he hit back-to-back hundreds, and now he hit a 90, 98?
A 95 in the second innings, yes.
So I have my eyes firmly fixed on this young man because I believe he's working his way back onto the West Indies team, which they can do with a middle of bat at this time.
Well, the next game for Trinidad and Tobago is Wednesday at the Queen's Park Oval against Barbados.
Against Barbados, and we need to improve. We need to win that one, Reza.
Yes, definitely. Well, good news on the West Indies South Africa front. They have now started the one-day series. The first one was washed out, and the second one, West Indies won by 48 runs, I believe. And that was a good showing by Captain Hope. He's now, of course, one-day captain in the white ball format, 128 not out. South Africa 287, which in 41 overs. Bavuma batted well, the captain. Two captains scoring hundreds. And Alzari Joseph did well, 3 for 53. And Akil Hussein, 3 for 59. So good victory by the West Indies one-day side.
Well, that was one of the headlines in the daily newspapers. Nice victory, nice win. And I must say, West Indies, they have shown that they can stay with the best at the one-day level.
Well, we're going quick. Well, what about the South African Test Series? I think that was the sad part of it, where West Indies lost the first test by 87 runs, and they lost the second test by 284 runs. And again, that test display was not to what we expected.
Quite disappointing indeed. I was disappointed. Because the chasing a total, you had enough time to get the runs, but the batsmen just did not live up to their expectations, and you have the fast bowlers from South Africa doing the damage again. So it means that there is problems in West Indies cricket at the batting level.
Yes, and the second innings of the second test, West Indies were bowled out for 106.
Exactly. I mean,
You know,
106. I mean,
in
just
test-
after lunch.
yes. Well, we have we have the view of former West Indies fast bowler Tony Gray and UTT head, the University of Trinidad and Tobago head coach, on his views regarding the test series, and I caught up with Tony Gray this week. So let's have a look on what Tony Gray said.
Okay, we have Tony Gray, the IETV Sports Train, reviewing the South African Test Series. Welcome, Tony Gray, to IETV. How are you?
I'm all right. Good evening to you, Reza. Good evening to Astel Ren, and good evening to your viewers and listeners.
All right, good man. Well, this was such a, last test, losing by innings and 284 runs. The batting was very painful, Tony Gray, to look at. The averages look like this. Jason Holder, 39, Blackwood, 31. But the rest of the key batsmen look like this. Reefer, 21, Myers, 13, Chase, 12.5 naught, Captain Braffett, 11.5 naught, Chandapal, 8.75. Obviously, batting flaws and deficiencies exist. And this has not been recent. What needs to be done to correct these flaws, especially against top bowlers? Do we blame the coaches? Do we blame the players? Who do we blame, Tony Gray?
Well, it's a combination of reasons why we have seen our batting especially not live up to expectation at that level of the game, especially against the better sides in the World Test match cricket. And in world cricket in general, you can see that. I think that we have some technical problems, and with technical problems, it will bring along a lack of confidence in our batsmen, a lack of fortitude too, because there is going to be a fear of failure. And, when there's a fear of failure, you're not going to get guys moving properly. So we have to look at the technical problems. You talk about and ask a question, what are the reasons? Well, we have to look at our coaching at the foundational level, because we are seeing basic problems, technical problems from our batsmen, and that's why they're not scoring runs. We also have to look at the way we practice, because the concentration levels of our batsmen, some of them, the captain, Braffett in a general sense, and Ryan Chandapal, they are very good at concentrating for long periods. But in a general sense too, we don't have the kind of quality of cricket in the Caribbean that lends assistance to the kind of batsmanship that we want to see against the better team. So a combination of reasons why this is happening.
Well, something Captain Braffett stated in the post-mortem, and one of the comments he made is this: it's only mental. The thing is, you can only work on your weaknesses, you can work on your strengths, but your mind has to be in the right place, Tony Gray. What is Braffett telling us?
Well, that's partly true, but we have to look at the origins of the problems. If we are not good against fast bowlers or spinners, as we've seen in a general sense, then it will play in our minds. So one thing leads to the other. But the initial problem is, the technical aspect of our game. As batsmen, we struggle a lot. And that has come about because of the lack of fast pitches. We talked about, the lack of potency of our fast bowlers. Batsmen now are not facing fast bowlers like they used to. So it's a combination of things. So the confidence level comes with knowing that you could perform well. If you don't have the good technical ability and you don't play consistently against good fast bowlers or great fast bowlers like our batsmen used to, then it will play in the mind. So, we have to look at the origins of the problem and not the fact that we are not performing well.
Well, given this squad, and the test series is done, for future test series, do we have room from Brandon King, Shea Hope, Hetmeyer, Bravo, or even Puran? Can these players make a difference?
No, listen, I think that we have to help our cricket, where the batting is concerned, from looking back at the history and doing the analytical research. Now, where Puran is concerned, for example, I don't think so. I think that he needs to be playing first-class cricket,
Right.
and reprogramming the mind, because with Puran, it's got to be real work. And remedial work is not only where a fast bowler that a technical flaw with his action, an illegal bowling action, so to speak. It is, to improve people's minds. Puran, from an early age, has been playing T20 cricket. And T20 cricket, without the foundation
Yes.
and the rudiments of the game, the ability to build, partnerships with batting for long, then you cannot expect Puran to come into Test match cricket, especially against the better sides, and make runs. So
Yes.
Gary Sobel started at 17 years old to play Test cricket in 1954. 4 years after, he's making his first century, a world record of 365, right? So we have to understand that somebody like Shea Hope has played Test cricket before. He can play it again. An improvement in his technical game will help him along. If he can score 2 centuries at Headingley, never accomplished before, you know that he can play international Test match cricket. I like Brandon King. In 2019, he was the most productive batsman in CPL. And I looked at him and I said, listen, the type of shots that he was playing, in my mind, he can easily play Test cricket. So, it's about being specific to the individual player.
Yes, yes. Well, we're coming down to the end of it. I wanted to ask you, were you satisfied with Craig Brathwaite's captaincy during the South African Test series?
Well, everybody could improve, and Craig Brathwaite is no exception to that fact. Craig Brathwaite, like a lot of captains, lead on personality.
Yes.
So Craig Brathwaite, we know, is great at concentrating for long periods. I don't think that he would be a technical or tactical, brilliant. I don't think that he's tactically brilliant. I think that he needs to be a little bit more forceful at times, and things like being animated and having the ability to verbalize motivation out there and be more animated in a strong sense.
Yes, yes.
I don't think that he has that personality. And the best captains can captain, teams when they need to and adjust their personalities. I mean, Clive Lloyd would watch at players and that sort of thing, might not verbalize or motivate players verbally, but also he was a motivator because of the way he carried about himself. I don't think that Craig Brathwaite has that personality, and I think that he needs to think outside of the box, captain his side out of his personality, and be a little bit more forceful when he needs to and situational.
Excellent. Well, my final question is, we meet another top side in a few months in July here in the Caribbean. Champion team India. Are you confident that the West Indies can win the series?
Not really. I have to be honest with myself and honest with the viewers that I don't think that we could beat India. India has a combination of absolutely brilliant players.
Sure.
You look at their batting, Kohli comes to mind, and others. You look at their bowling, they have a varied bowling attack with really great seamers now. If Bumrah is fit, and we remember what he did in the last series against India, here in the Caribbean, they annihilated us. So I expect similar things. Now, the important thing with our players, especially our batsmen, is to do serious work between now and also that Test match. We have to do serious work and try to do remedial work in our techniques, because we're not going to last long in the middle with the likes of, coming up against those Indian bowlers, both spin and pace.
Ashwin, yeah.
That's right. You know what I mean? So we have to do a lot of work between now and that Test series.
All right. Tony Gray, it's always great to hear from you. We want to certainly wish you all the best. And thank you very much for your time here on IETV.
Yes, that was Anthony Hollis Gray, former West Indian fast bowler, and of course, former chairman of the Trinidad and Tobago senior team selectors. So he made some valid points here, Astel, and I wanted to just point out when he mentioned about the foundation cricket, and you have had a lot of say on that.
Correct, correct. I mean, two things that jump out to you from Tony Gray is that technical deficiencies, and I think we have to coin a new a phrase, or maybe it's there. We have to find a way how to coach the coaches, because it seems like if there are serious problems within the coaching system in the Caribbean. I was told that many years ago by a director of West Indies cricket, but nobody wants to listen. There are problems within the coaching system, so we have to find ways how to coach the coaches.
Yes, definitely. All right, so now let's take our first break. When we come back, Rising Stars featuring karateka Samir Ali from El Socorro. Stay tuned to IETV.
I come from a place of love. Vibes don't get us never stop. Like something just trigger away. Like you with them just give me energy.
Are you ready to own your own home, but worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all. With Docs, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of $100K or $150K, and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
Welcome back to Sports Train. You are looking at the Sports Train from way down in our studios in Diego Martin. And we have Rising Stars, Samir Ali. He is from El Socorro, the hometown of my fellow host, Riza Abasali. Riza, do you know this young man?
Yes, right down the road, as we say in Trinidad. So we have young Samir Ali. Actually, Astel, today he's 18 years old.
Oh, so we must extend congratulations and say happy birthday to you.
Yes, man. So he's a lowest sixth form student at Hillview College, and he wants to pursue a career in dentistry, but he's well known in the karate world, martial arts. So I caught up with Samir just a few days ago, and here's my interview with Samir Ali from El Socorro.
Okay, IETV fans, we have live online through Zoom our karateka extraordinaire, Mr. Samir Ali from El Socorro. Welcome, Samir, to IETV. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing fine. I'm doing well.
Thanks for this interview, man. Tell us, what age did you start practicing martial arts, and who are some of the people that motivated you to start this wonderful sport?
Well, I started martial arts at the age of 7, and I began competing 6 months afterwards in local tournaments. And the thing is, I always made podium, which really indicated that this was a sport that was meant for me. First of all, I would like to thank God for allowing me the opportunity to realize my ability at such a young age. My true success really came from my dad, whose motivation, inspiration, and planning has led me to become a world champion and the person that I am today. Also, there were like 2 categories of my training that helped build my sporting career. The first aspect really solidified my foundation, with coaches that were involved in this aspects were like Master Gregory Herrera, Kenneth Ironman Bishop, Professor Junior Kisto, Professor Russell Gomes, Sensei Sebastian, Sir Frank Eugene, and Hanshi Anthony Sidney were all part of this development stage now.
Great, man. Great. Wonderful people, man. Lots of people here in the support. Yeah?
As well as so the second aspect of my training, which were part of my build up for my international competition, were my current trainer, Dr. Dexter Shim, and like his like elite athlete high performance training program continues to like play like a major role in my development as like an international elite athlete on the international stage.
Well, great, great. Now you practice various styles of karate, such as jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, shotokan. Briefly, how similar or different are these art forms, and which one is more challenging for you?
Yes, well, during my martial arts career, I had really privilege of training under several disciplines. I currently hold a brown belt in VSK Jiu-Jitsu, a second degree black belt in ITF Taekwondo, a third degree black belt in Shotokan Karate, and a third degree black belt in Shuturu Karate. Each one of these martial art forms developed different areas of my techniques then. For like example, Jiu-Jitsu developed my close contact fighting, Taekwondo developed my kicking techniques and abilities, and Shotokan developed my power, balance, and coordination, and Shuturu developed my speed,
Excellent,
right?
excellent.
And like when you combine all these martial arts forms and their various strengths, you would automatically gain the ability to move on to like the next level then. So my current and primary focus stays and remains with Shotokan on the international stage, and for me, the Shotokan would be the most difficult in my opinion.
Not too well done. Well, I have seen your honor and achievement role, Samir. Very impressive. Which one stands out for you in terms of performance and or recognition?
Well, for some of the achievement that remains in my mind are like the ones that I made history for Trinidad and Tobago with.
Yes.
So like being the only athlete that won the Athlete of the Year for 3 consecutive years in the Point Kickboxing Association of Trinidad and Tobago in the local circuit really stood out as one of them. Another one would be competing in the World Karate Youth League and placing fifth in my category. That was something.
Yes.
This was like the first time, like Trinidad in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, that a person got this far in the circuit and placing Trinidad and Tobago as like a major contender on the world stage.
Excellent.
I remember people saying like they never heard Trinidad, a country called Trinidad and Tobago before, and they were like questioning and saying like where this country located, you know? But also during the COVID pandemic, I competed for 3 years on the international online circuit as well, under the circuit called Ubentex. In the category division, I managed to win 3 consecutive years for Athletes of the Year, and another first for Trinidad and Tobago. But I must say, by far the greatest achievement that really stood out and continued to stand out for me is the position that I held in 2020. I was ranked by the World Karate Federation, the WKF Association, as being number 28 in the world in my division.
Well, you know, you mentioned about Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm wearing my Trinidad and Tobago jersey here right now, as you can see. So tell us, when last did you represent TNT, and tell us generally, how does it feel to represent the red, white, and black?
Well, the last time I represented Trinidad was back in July, August in the Commonwealth Championships in England, Birmingham, England.
Yes.
Right. I placed third in the kata for the championships, and I placed fourth in the kata in the championships and third in the club competition.
Excellent, excellent. And that feeling of recognition must be, of course, over the moon for you.
Yes, definitely, yes.
Well, what are your goals? You know, we're coming down to the end already. What are your goals look like in the next 3 to 5 years in your sport?
Well, I mean, firstly, I would definitely be training harder, which would be like my main and primary focus. If God permits, of course, I need to compete more on the international circuit to improve my ranking and get Trinidad and, well, my country known as like a major contender by the World Karate Federation, WKF.
Wow, wonderful. And I mean, you're a lower 6 student at Hillview College at the moment. And you do travel for competitions from time to time. I mean, you local, sometimes abroad, sometimes. How do you balance your studies with playing your sport?
Well, honestly, it was a huge challenge at first to balance both school and sport.
Yes,
But I don't really get the time to focus on my sport as I would like to.
right.
But to compete at an international level at such a high rank,
Mm,
people's expectations for me are like extremely high.
I can
But
imagine.
yeah, the reality is that school is just as important or even more important as my sporting career.
Mm,
And only by adopting a strict discipline and commitment, it will allow me to like fuel both then.
excellent. And finally, tell us, what is your message to the youth of the nation in achieving success?
Well, I believe that success is measured by competing against others. I believe that success is measured by competing against yourself and comparing yourself to yourself and your abilities then. I would say always try to become better at what you did yesterday and always strive for excellence within your ability. Most importantly, be God conscious
Mhm.
and be humble. And like from my past experiences, I know that you will be successful in the future.
Fantastic. Samir, we certainly want to wish you all the best in your endeavors, and you have excelled in both academics and sport. So we would be looking out for you in in the near future. All the best, and thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you.
Rising star Samir Saud Ali from El Socorro. Quite impressive, Aston.
Very impressed indeed, and he's from El Seguro, your hometown. So
Yes.
I think you're walking around, but very proud today.
For sure, yes, yes.
Exactly. So we take a break, and when we come back, we continue with our sports stream.
On IETV.
I come from a place I love. Rhymes don't get us never stop. Like something just trigger away. Like you with them just give energy.
Are you ready to own your own home, but worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all. With Docs, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of $100K or $150K, and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
Welcome back to Sports Stream on IETV. And of course, thank you for our gold sponsors, Blazers, Docs Engineering Works, and our cash prize of $300 right now. And we are going to open the lines courtesy Royals Publishing Company Limited, 7A McCoy Industrial Estate in McCoy. Telephone number 645-0423. All roads in education lead to Royals Publishing Company with books designed for both primary and secondary schools. Parents, students, and teachers are welcome at RPC, McCoy Industrial Estate, 645-0423. And you can find the Shiv Chanda Paul biography there at Royals also, 645-0423. Well, let's have a look at this photo. And you can call in at 223-1601. All right, yes, we're looking at this. We want to have this photo of our Olympic athlete. Calling for $300, 223-1601. Still, we can't forget this gentleman.
Exactly, we cannot forget him indeed, and this is the moment in which all our viewers, they were waiting on. At the top, we announced that we are going to have this trivia, and we're going to have this young man up. And today, well, you have it. So 223-1601. If you get it right, you can walk away with $300. $300. 300 smackers. You'll be 300. I mean, with more money in your pocket, they go and buy whatever you want to buy.
2008 gold, the Beijing Olympics in the 4x100 relay. Silver also in Beijing in 2008 in the 100 meters.
Correct, yeah.
2012 bronze, London in the 4x100. And you know that four-man team with himself, Emmanuel, Calendar, Bledman, and Burns.
Burns, yes, yes.
Has made our country proud.
Exactly, and I believe that they were elevated from bronze to silver or gold.
Yeah,
because
in the relay,
during that relay event.
Jamaican had
Jamaica faltered. I mean,
yes,
one of the runners
guys,
came
yes.
up. I'm tested positive, so Trinidad and Tobago were bumped up the ladder, and I mean, and this man has tremendous amount of speed. He is known. Should I call
his middle name?
His middle name?
Is it sobriquet?
Yeah, his sobriquet.
Go ahead.
Yeah, his sobriquet. Torpedo.
Torpedo.
Yeah. If you can call it right, then you can win $300. The time is ticking down, so pick up the telephone and call us one time and identify this Olympian. This man who has made us proud on so many occasions. He belongs to the fast lane.
Yes,
He's one of the speedsters.
Yeah, talking about fast lane. When he clocked 9.82 in 2014 in TNT National Championships, that was June 2014. That has been going on as one of the fastest ever in the history of the 100 meters.
Exactly, on local soil.
Yes.
Yes, it's true. I was there and I saw it because, and what was amazing about that run is that he was a doubtful starter. I mean, he wasn't the favorite to win the race, but he came out and he proved them wrong because they were the doubters and the naysayers who were saying that he's injured and maybe he has passed his best. He came out and he showed them that he still was silky smooth and he had that speed.
Well, time is running down. Just to say also that he's a QRC old boy.
Correct.
And he was coached by a person that you do know, Ashwin Creed.
Ashwin Creed, yes, indeed. And the great man Atto Bolden always had his eyes on this young man, and I believe some time ago Atto passed on his crown, his speeding crown, to this young man.
Well, I think we have run out of time, Astel.
Right.
So we have someone.
Yeah, we have someone on the line from Shogunas. Shogunas, take your claim. Let's hear you. Yes. Okay, Shogunas, go ahead. Let's hear you. Who is this man you were looking at? We are not hearing. Are you Shogunas? So can you?
Well, he could. Well, maybe he knows the name, and he could tell our directors and assistant.
Correct.
And we will make arrangements to have him collect his prize.
Okay.
The director is telling us, hold on.
Yeah, hold on, because the person wants to verbalize the vision, what they're seeing. Okay, Shogunas, let's hear you. Take down the volume on your television and listen to us through your telephone. Okay.
Okay. All right. I think we have a winner. What is the name again? But that's
Marsha George from Shogunas.
Marsha George, but we couldn't get on the line, unfortunately.
Yes. So we say congratulations to you, Marsha George. You are $300 much richer today. And you can collect it. Well, we'll make all the arrangements for you, Riza?
Yes, we'll make the arrangements. I'll call her, and then, we could arrange for what will happen for the week coming, where to collect it.
Yes.
All right, so let's take our final break, and when we come back, Olympic shooter live on set, Mr. Roger Daniel. Stay tuned to IETV.
I come from a place of love. Vibes don't get us never stop. Like something just trigger away. Like you with them just give me energy.
Are you ready to own your own home, but worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all. With Docs, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of 100K or 150K, and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
My name is Riza Abasali.
My name is Astil Ren. This is Sports Train. Get on board. Join us every Sunday afternoon for a 1 hour long live program on ITV, your station for real sports.
That's victory for the West Indies, and Sheldon Cottrell has done it.
And we have some interesting features such as
Great moments in West Indian cricket. Rising stars.
Where Are They Now? Our former sporting icons. Sports Train on ITV. Don't miss it.
I come from a place I love. Vibes don't get us never stop. Like something just trigger away. Like you with them just give me energy.
Are you ready to own your own home, but worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all. With Docs, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of 100K or 150K, and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
My name is Riza Abasali.
My name is Astil Ren. This is Sports Train. Get on board. Join us every Sunday afternoon for a 1 hour long live program on ITV, your station for real sports.
That's victory for the West Indies, and Sheldon Cottrell has done it.
And we have some interesting features such as
Great moments in West Indian cricket. Rising stars.
Where Are They Now? Our former sporting icons. Sports Train on ITV. Don't miss it. To Sports Train, you were looking at the Sports Train. The train is moving at a very fast pace, and we have on board the train at this time an Olympian, a man who has done it all, who has climbed every mountain, you can say. He has been to 4 Olympic Games, and he's looking to go to another one. His name is Roger Daniel. Roger, welcome to our studios, and it's a pleasure, it's a privilege, it's an honor to have you on the train at this time. Riza, what do you think about having this man on?
Well, Astel, as I mentioned to you off it, I mean, this is our first meeting. He was down there in the bamboo, I mean, about 12 years ago. 12 years and the man hasn't changed one bit, Astel.
I mean, the man has
Probably a little more here than I do.
Yeah. He has matured. He has matured as a shooter.
Welcome to the train, man.
Thank you so much, man.
Yes, yes. Well, let's start at the top, man. I mean, you know, you're in St. James background. You know, you grew up in Morvan. I mean, we were looking here at your sporting background in so many sports. Tell us about your early life growing up there in Morvan.
All right. Born in St. James, up
Yes.
on Fort George. My mom, Merle Daniel. And my brother, Trevor Henry, my sister, Ermin Henry at the time. We were not too much into the sporting back then.
Right.
When we moved to Mova, I attended the Lower Mova Government School. Then I went to Mova Lavantil.
Right.
Secondary. And then I went to Malik Senior Comprehensive School. So growing up in Mova all these years was great for me. I started sports in Mova Lavantil.
Right.
When I did the field events, I used to throw javelin, shot put, discus. Yeah, javelin, shot put, discus. I won junior sec at that time. And then I went to Malik Senior Comprehensive. I did javelin, shot put, discus. And I won the North. That when you used to have the North Central Inter-School, I won the javelin and the shot put and discus. From then and then, I just
Just
didn't have
mushroom into
support,
the big sport.
And then I ventured into hockey from Malik.
Right,
Senior
you said so,
Comprehensive.
yes. But still, as the man stated, all-round sportsman. Yes.
An all-round sportsman indeed. And I mean, when I'm reading your bio, you said that you got into pistol shooting by chance. But tell me something. You are now an Olympian. You are competing in the Olympic type pistol shooting. Do you, for any moment, in your imagination, believe that you will become a pistol shooter because your background is football, cricket, hockey, everything else?
Yes.
But pistol shooter, tell us, I mean, how you arrive at this thing?
Okay, one day while being on the range, I joined the Defense Force in 1996 as a hockey player. You know Captain Griffith. He pulled me into the Chantabega Defense Force to play hockey. And one day while being there, I heard about the shooting team.
Right.
And I went to at that time we did 9-meter shooting. Right, this was the heavy caliber shooting, and I was introduced through deceased Warren Blunt. That time I was Petty Officer Sanka running the team and so forth, and they said, you all know it have something called Olympic type shooting. And I said, okay, that sounds interesting. And I said, one day I'll come down to the range and see what this Olympic type shooting was. And on a Saturday I ventured down there and I saw a few people inside a air shed, a meter air shed, preparing for a competition. And this one gentleman, deceased Lloyd Henry. Yes, saw me standing by the door. He said, youngster, what do you want to do? I said, sir, I come to see this event. Yeah, so why don't you try it? I said, I don't have anything, no equipment, nothing. He said, come. And he pulled out this, at that time I didn't know it was an air pistol. A crank it here, and you put in one pellet at a time. By the way, the discipline is one shot at a time. You have 60 shots to count, and you have a time limit to do it in, which was back then was an hour and a half. Right, so you have an hour and a half to deliver 60 shots to count on the target, and you load them one at a time. And there I was with this crank gun, now for the first time, picking it up, feeling it and everything, and shooting at the target. My heart was racing. But at the end of it, I felt tired, but you know, I said, hey, I could do this discipline. Next time the gentleman comes running to me and hug me up and jumping up at me and says, you won. I'm like, what? How could I win? I know, come and shoot. And you know, and that was the bittersweet of it, because after that, the gentlemen who were there saw that, hey, this gentleman now can pick up the gun for the first time, the air pistol, and won the discipline. So how is that possible? And some of them just died off after that.
Now, talking about those disciplines, and I mean, we have read your bio in terms of the specialization in this pistol shooting. 50-meter free pistol, 10-meter air pistol. I mean, tell us the differences between these two type of arts.
The difference is a lot. The distance, the 50-meter distance is 50 meters, about what, 11 yards. Right, so, and the centimeter of the 10 ring is about 4 centimeters thereabout. So at 50 meters, you're trying to hit a bullseye of 4 centimeters.
A force, yeah.
Yes, correct. 4 centimeters. And that pistol is called free pistol because there's no restrictions. You cannot be supported, it's unsupported. Yeah, only iron sights you use. You can't use no optical at all. Strictly iron sights. One shot at a time it is loaded. One shot at a time. You stand in position, unsupported. One arm, 50 meters. You have an hour and a half to 2 hours. It used to be 2 hours. You're shooting this discipline for 2 hours of total concentration to deliver that one shot to that 4 centimeter target 50 meters away.
50 meters
So it was a high level concentration discipline. Whereas the 10 meter as well is a lot. You try to challenge yourself to stay much more steadier, because the slightest movement with 10 meter with a pellet, which is 4.5 millimeter, you're loading into pistol. And the 10 ring in itself is just about, you could say the same thing about 4.5 millimeter to here. It's at 6 millimeter, 7 millimeter, 8 millimeter around there. And I don't want to throw it off. So you're trying to hit that 10 meters, which is about what, 33 feet?
About 33,
About 33 feet. and you're trying to do that discipline within now, at this present time, around 15 minutes, you have to deliver 60 shots to your target for competition to count.
And your eye is covered, one eye?
One eye is covered. Some people don't use any covering, they use both eyes. Some use one as a form of seeing better. Some have mastered using both eyes with the dominant eye taking over.
I see.
But everything boils down to how you practice, how you train. So the more you train at it, is the more your body will adjust to it.
Let's fast forward a little. I mean, talking about, I mean, we've seen that you won your first event as a novice. You came into it and you won that, and you continue winning along the line. It took you to the Olympics, the first Olympics. Athens was your first one.
Greece.
Let's talk about that experience.
My
with
gosh.
him.
Yes, thank you. Well, you know, well, before we went to go to Athens, your first Olympics, and I do have the results. Tell us how, I mean, there's a guy called Brent Thomas. How did he influence you?
Brent Thomas influenced us greatly.
Yes.
He was the drive behind the team back then. He was like a no-nonsense coach.
Right.
He had his plan and he said, hey, this is how we're going to do it. He realized the ability that I had and the others were his charges, and he pushed us. He pushed us. And I had my dreams within myself. I said, hey, I want to go to Olympics. He said, you want to go to Olympics? I said, yes, I want to go to Olympics. And he said, he will coach me and train me to get there. And we did that training. It was intense. It was a lot of sacrifice, a lot of pain. It was gruesome. I didn't think that experience was so intense that to be an Olympic athlete is not an easy thing, because you have well, in Trinidad and Tobago too, you have to deal with life, you have to deal with work, you have to deal with family, you have to deal with it's a lot. Whereas some other countries, where as Olympic athlete, these things are provided. You don't have to worry about finances and you know these sort of things. So when you're an athlete, you get full scholarship. You get to do what you have to do outside there in Trinidad and Tobago. Some athletes have experienced that kind of thing, but I wasn't fortunate to experience that.
Sure.
I got some support, I must say, from the Ministry of Sport, who was supporting me in the beginning.
Right.
The Rifle Association supported me in the beginning. My work, the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, supported me tremendously in the beginning. They afforded me the time to go and train and really put my best foot forward. So I must say thanks to the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force a lot. They have been the major drive in my life in the sport.
Yes.
And
so
now that I'm in the TTPS, I hope to get the same support and continuing.
Corporal?
Yes, Corporal Daniel. And
Yes.
well, you know, it's not an easy road, but
Sure.
in the police service I've learned a lot. But I don't want to go off the thing there. But in the sport, where the sport is concerned, the Olympic experience back then in Greece, it was nerve-wracking for me. I couldn't control my nerves, because being in that level and seeing that level of performance, sometimes I used to sit and watch people training, and the dedication you would see there. You know, it unnerved me. And I was like, yeah.
Well, you know, as we mentioned, you know, Astel, as you did his first Olympics in Athens.
Greece, yeah.
My script says that you came 33rd in the 50 meter free pistol and 27th in the 10 meter air pistol. Was that within your expectations? How was that experience?
That experience to me, I didn't put any expectations on myself.
Yes.
I just wanted to go there and perform. This is the Olympics, you know. I was amazed to be amongst the best. Cleopatra Barrel, George Bovell.
Right.
And I was there when he won his medal, that first bronze swimming medal there in that discipline in Greece. Yes. So it was amazing to see the different athletes, and not only our athletes, the other athletes from the other countries. And I sat and I spoke with them about their training. And when you hear the kind of training these people do out there, it's total commitment. When you see you go to train, you train. You know, there's no saying, hey, I don't go and run to the bank, I don't go and do this. There's no, when you're training, the commitment, the dedication they had, the passion. So I learned a lot there. It was my first experience. I took a lot from it, and I moved on to compete. It got me hungrier to compete. It got me hungry to compete in the discipline. And I've always been thankful for that.
And so Astel, he moved from Athens to Tokyo. Roger. and then you moved to London. All right, and then you went to Beijing. I don't think you were in Rio.
Beijing was 2000.
All right,
No, I wasn't in
but
Rio.
combine those three and tell us, you know, your progression.
All right, in those three, I would say, let's go with, in those three,
Yes.
support, you see a support system,
Mm.
in your Olympics, you need to have that support as an athlete. You must have your support. If you don't have your support, you're wasting time. That support system, it starts from in your home, your association, the funding, let me tell you something, it's so much I could talk about, but you must have your support system in place, your team, your coaches, your medical, these things have to be put in place, a proper planning. You can't just say, hey, I want to go Olympics, that's like that. This don't happen like that. You must have, and this is what I've learned over the years going to the Olympics, because many times I went there, wasn't properly, I didn't get the support. Yeah, I didn't get the support. I went there off of natural ability and being able to develop over the years, starting from the foundation from Mr. Thomas, come straight up to Ms. Antisek Bombajav. The coaches have been to Sweden with Ragnar Skanica, world class. He won his medal, a medal at 55. You understand? So our sport, we have longevity in our sports. It's not about the age, it's being able to concentrate, to deliver each shot every time. Is being able, it's how your body feel, how your mind feel, how you feel on the whole in total. If you feel you could do it, you could do it. Don't ever let nobody tell you you can't do it.
Okay, well, Director, just put that little video we have, just a minute video, we have you in action. Just put it up for us, Director. But
spying on me?
No. Yeah. So in between, just before London, we note here that you won the Sportsman of the Year in 2010 and 2011. That must have been some form of recognition and well, praise for you in your field of sport.
Yeah, yes, it was.
Yes.
It was good in some sense and not so good in some sense, where some people decided to tell me that I didn't do as good as I should. Even though people come and tell me, they say, certain people watch me and said, you know, Daniel, you could do much better than that. I said, but this is the highest sports award in the country. Where you want me to go? They didn't, sad enough, I didn't get much recognition there and then when that happened. It was like just a moment and then, okay, move on.
All right, okay. Great. Well, we do have the video. The director is telling us. Let's have a look at this video.
It's a passion for me. I love it. I love the concentration, you see, it's all about you being on that line and controlling yourself under extreme pressures. In my country is a lot. It's the biggest thing that I've ever known in my life, actually. Being there and hearing the national anthem play and seeing your flag raising, it gives you goosebumps just actually speaking about it. But it's the greatest feeling you'll ever experience representing your country and knowing that you have a nation behind your back. Currently I train at the AD Tactical Practical Range. I do my rapid pistol here because it is ideal. It is a modern range. It's a very highly sophisticated range and I love using it because it's convenient, it is safe, it is everything that you would require as a pistol shooter. My name is Roger Daniel. I'm the National Olympic shooter representing Trinidad and Tobago.
So Roger, it seems like I mean, you are a product of discipline and a mental toughness. I mean, because from what you're saying is that support is essential. Family support. I mean, let's talk about that family support area, that support. And also, you mentioned there's a fellow called Bert Mahi.
Yes,
let's talk a little about those experiences that you had with him and with your family behind you.
Okay. Now, the family behind me, my family didn't know that I was into the sports to begin with. It's only after they started hearing me and, you know.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, they started saying, what? And then it's like, it came as a surprise to my mom and my family.
Correct.
And then it was it took off from there. They keep telling me, keep praying, stay strong, stay healthy. So it was really a surprise to them.
Correct.
But my family supported me, and every time my mom would be looking out and like, "What you have next? What you have next?" So it was a great support. My brother, Trevor Henry, he was in the military as well. He was retired. Yeah, and he would say, "Hey, Dodo," he used to call me Dodo. Don't ask me why I'm not gonna say on TV. What are you doing? And so he used to push me, and my brother would say, "Hey, watch yourself, keep going." So the support on the family, and I want to say something to all the co-workers as well, was tremendous. I have a lot of co-workers who push me every time. They say, "Why you not at training?" It's like, they say, "Come on, Sergeant, come on." They would push me and say, "Hey, you have training, go to training." So you can hardly lapse there. And I have my teammates, Mr. Rodney Allen, Marshall Bullen Jones, back then was, who's a warrant now, by the way, Warren Jones, sorry. Rodney Allen is retired. And he's still competing as well, mind you, as well. We have some others like Gokran Ali. Name a few, I'll just call a few. The guys who still at who shooting at this point in time. We have, well, the past rifle guys, I learned a lot from them too. Like Aftab Khan, deceased Warren Blunt, I used to just a few.
Oh, yes.
Chief Officer Sanka, who these are guys I looked at in the earlys, going to games and so forth. I pulled off of that. So the support was good. They are like family to me, basically. So in the sport itself, I've developed a family, and they were the ones giving me the support in the early. So the names I didn't call, forgive me, we're limited on time, but correct, I just want to say thanks a lot for all who helped push me and continue. Now that I'm in TTPS, I'm developing a newer family, new member. I'm saying not newer family, new family members to add to the old one.
Great.
So moving forward from here, I still I'm going to attempt to go the next Olympics,
Paris
in 2024.
Well,
and I want to say thanks to Mr. Brian Lewis as well, because we were supposed to do the marathon. We do the marathon ever since we started the walking.
Yeah,
I've done it all every year, except I didn't do it this year because of work commitment, and I was really feeling a little beat, so I didn't want to take that chance and go out there.
Well, hear this, because we're running out of time. We just have a couple of minutes. We have looked at your list of achievements. I mean, it's extremely impressive. From the CAC Games, Commonwealth Games, Pan Am Games, and of course the Olympics.
Yes.
Roger, I mean, one of the high points we have read, and you could tell, I mean, two of them, the high point of the bronze in Melbourne in 2006, and you won the prestigious Canadian Air Gun Guard Prix in 2005. Surely there must have been momentous occasions.
Yes, it's momentous because the bronze in Melbourne was my first Commonwealth Games medal I've ever won.
Right.
It's beautiful medal. Sorry, I didn't have it here to show you.
Right.
And it's still there, and it's still the same way, same shiny, same way. And sometimes when I feel really down, I feel to be encouraged. I look at it and I say how hard I worked to achieve this medal. Many people didn't know.
Right.
We had some challenges along those times where people were saying that we were wasting time and we wouldn't medal. And at that point in time, I came out there and I won a medal because my hard work paid off. I came from 6th to 7th place to reach 3rd place, missing the silver and the silver by some mere points.
Yes.
And it took me a lot. I prayed a lot, I must tell you. I prayed from beginning to end of that finals. I can't remember how it went, but all I know, I won the medal, and that's pushed me straight forward.
Well, Astel, we have run out of time. I mean, it has been a wonderful story even in these 20-25 minutes.
Exactly.
Roger, we want to certainly wish you all the best. Thank you for joining us here live on IETV and Paris 2024 looks.
Yes.
We certainly want to wish you all the best. All the
Yes,
best, my
we
friend.
should.
Yes,
See you
man.
in Paris, man.
Yes,
I'm
going all the way.
Yeah. This is Sports Train.
Astor Ren.
I'm Riza Basali.
Stay on the train.
Get on board. All right.